Welcome back to After Dark, and we're playing The Black Mirror. Last episode, Henry Stanton, the gardener, was found dead in the fountain in the garden, the rear garden. And Samuel, in his infinite empathy, has decided that it's much more important to search for the bill of exchange for the strange artifact that Henry sold to the blacksmith, because he cares about that more than people. Yay. So we just spoke with Morris. He seems to be a suspect, at least in Samuel's mind, but really not a strong suspect. So let's go ahead and continue talking to some more people, seeing what we can do here. Ooh, Victoria's out of the common room.
What happened to Henry is awful. First William, and now... Henry liked to drink, but other than that, he was a good man.
I'm sorry, Victoria.
I would like to be alone now. Do you need anything, Samuel?
Dr. Herman, the physician, does he live in Willow Creek?
No, some time ago he moved into an abandoned house near the old mill. It is quite close on the road to Willow Creek, the only house far and wide.
Yes, I remember where that is. Thanks.
Please excuse me now, Samuel.
So we have to have that conversation for...
I can't leave now.
Well, it won't let me leave, but it won't even let me look at the damn map. But you have to have that conversation to be able to go to Herman's house. But let's have a talk with Robert up in his study, and then we'll go talk to Bates.
I need a word with you, Robert.
Yes, but I am quite busy at the moment.
I won't keep you long.
Yes, I'm listening.
God damn, man. Chill out.
Did you speak with Collier?
Yes, he detained me for over half an hour with those questions of his.
So, what do you think about all of this?
Me? Collier's theory seems logical to me. I do not believe anyone would want to kill Henry. Henry drank himself to senselessness many times before, but this time he was unlucky enough to fall into the pond. Cold water certainly had something to do with the body's condition. Being a physician, I can certainly attest to that.
You're probably right.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? I have a lot of work to do today.
Yes, in fact.
Victoria is not willing to talk to me right now. Maybe you should talk to her instead.
You need to consider her age, Samuel. She just needs some time to herself. I'll talk to her in the evening.
You have mentioned often since I arrived that you have a lot of work. So, what are you working on?
Oh, I would rather not bother you with the details. Let's just say I'm carrying out specific research. Perhaps I will tell you more about it tomorrow, when I have some time. I need to leave for Ashbury this evening to check on some results.
Oh, all right. I must go now.
Right then. I'll return to my work.
So it seems like Robert's practice, or he says he's a physician, is in Ashbury. Okay. Let's go talk to Bates. He might be in the kitchen, maybe? Whoa, excuse me. The cellar door's open.
The door is open. Someone must be down there.
Yes. The creepy sounds of Something grinding? What the hell is that? Oh. He's just sharpening some cutlery. Okay. Let's have a look around the cellar. Big kegs.
Wine kegs full of quality red.
Anything over here? No. A well.
This well is from the era when the castle was under siege. It was supposed to connect the castle with an underground system of corridors, but that's merely old hearsay. No one has ever seen those corridors.
You can still click on it.
It's several tens of meters deep, but the water from it can't be drunk.
Well, then why is it a well? What else we got here? Tanks.
They're full of clean water. The cellar is quite cold, so the water is always cool. I can't see anything special, just clean water.
And then a bunch of medieval weapons on the wall. That's cool. To the rear part. What else we got here? Some sort of machine, a pump. Keg.
It's empty. There's nothing in it.
Wine shelves.
This is where our best vintages are stored. The temperature as well as degree of dampness is ideal. Maybe I'll choose a bottle sometime later. I have no time for that now.
Alright.
The pump is part of the entire water distribution system. It pumps the water in and out endlessly according to immediate needs.
Controls.
I have no clue how to control the pump.
Well, you know who does, I'm sure? Bates. This pump is how we're going to get rid of the water in the fountain. Alright, Bates. Talk to me, man.
Bates?
Yes, sir?
Bates, can the fountain back in the garden be drained?
Yes, there is a big pump in the cellar. It controls the water flow for the whole castle. It is possible to adjust the water level. However, I do not think it is a good idea to drain it after what happened. And Detective Collier should probably be notified about it, sir.
I'm merely considering all the alternatives. We have the right to find out what happened. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. In that case, it is probably best not to tell anyone. Is that what you meant, sir?
Very much so. You said you were there when they dragged Henry out of the fountain.
Unfortunately, I was. The sight was terrible.
I have to tell you something. I feel responsible for what happened to him.
Why would you say something like that, sir?
Well, I ordered him to clean the fountain. He did not want to do it, but I insisted.
You mustn't think that way, sir. Surely, if he had not been drunk, nothing would have happened. And I actually heard Dr. Herman say that his death occurred sometime after midnight. It is not your fault. Certainly, he would not be cleaning it in the middle of the night.
I really hope so. Bates is probably right. Henry most likely fell in there by accident. I spoke to Collier. As you can imagine, he asked me a lot of curious questions. Tell me, what did he question you about?
Many things. But most of all, he was interested in the place where we found Henry. It was very unpleasant having to describe it all over again, sir.
Oh? Can you repeat to me what you told him?
I was afraid you would ask. Well, if I must. I was awakened by a sharp knock at the door of my room. Morris was shouting something about Henry. He seemed utterly confused, rapidly pouring out incoherent sentences. He wanted me to go with him to the back garden immediately. At that moment, I still had no inkling of what had transpired.
Did you go with him right to the fountain?
Yes, and only there did I realize what had happened. It took me a while to come to myself again, but then I went straight to the telephone.
What time was it?
It was about 6 in the morning. Collier and Dr. Herman arrived an hour later. That is all, sir. You know the rest.
Yes. Thanks for being so patient, Bates.
You know, the only real mystery, I guess, is why the hell Morris was walking around the back garden at midnight.
When did Dr. Herman leave?
Half an hour ago. He took Henry's body to the old morgue.
Did he mention to anyone what he thought about all this?
He had a long conversation with a detective, but I have no idea what they were speaking about. I was so distraught, I was not really listening.
All right. That's all then, Bates. Body is in the old morgue then. What was Morris doing in the back garden so early in the morning? His work is in the stable, right?
Yes, but he sometimes helps with the gardening. Henry cannot do everything that needs to be done. I mean, he was not...
Yeah, but that's not at midnight. Gardening is not done at midnight.
Bates, why don't you take the rest of the day off? You don't have to work under the circumstances.
No, sir. I do not want to just be sitting around brooding. I'd rather attend to my responsibilities. It helps take my mind off things.
I understand. I think I will go now.
I'll return to my work.
Okay. So he told us that the pumps control everything, including the fountain. So let's have a look at it again.
Water distribution controls. I have no idea which one does what.
And one of the wheels is missing. Let's talk to Bates again.
Do you need anything, sir?
I would like to ask you about something.
Certainly, sir.
Bates, that pump we talked about,
Yes, sir?
I think it is broken. Which valve controls the water level?
The pump works all right, sir. Only one of the input valves broke off some time ago. The water level can still be adjusted using the other valves. It just takes a moment to figure out the right setup for what you want to do.
How do I know if I have drained the fountain then?
If I remember correctly, the second column from the right displays the level of water in the fountain.
I will give it a try. I think I will go now.
I'll return to my work.
Of course, the one with the broken wheel is the one that controls the fountain, which means we're going to have to drain it using the other pumps. And I don't exactly know the system or how this works, so this is going to be a little trial and error. So this is the fountain right here. So that's draining it. But we still have a little water left, and it won't let me go anymore. There we go.
Ready.
Yep, no idea how to solve that. I just randomly click things until it works. Enjoy! Alright, so let's get back to the fountain. And there it is drained. And what the hell is that? That appears to be another symbol, does it not?
A sign of some sort, or a symbol.
And there's the glittering object. It is a key.
This must be the thing that glittered at the bottom.
And just like the last one, we should take a picture of that.
I'll take a picture of it, just like the first symbol.
So now we have 2 dead bodies and 2 mysterious symbols that have appeared. Great. Well, we'll have to come back to that later. For now, we have Henry's key. And this might unlock the metal box in his drawer. Let's see if we have finally found the bill of exchange that Samuel is so sure that Henry has.
Some papers and a few coins. The bill isn't here. Where could he have put it? A letter. It's addressed to Victoria. Madam, please regard this letter as one from an anonymous friend. One of your servants is not whom he pretends to be. You may find it interesting that he is an ex-prisoner.
And a thief. On several occasions, I watched him sneak quietly into the castle cellar, using the old back door. I saw that person take away several bottles of some of the best vintages of your wine that you value so much. No doubt, some of your other valuables have also gone astray. I decided to write you this letter to prevent further stealing. The person's name is Morris.
Henry meant to blackmail Morris. I am curious as what Morris will tell me about this.
Yeah, and why didn't he go forward with the blackmailing? The plot thickens. But still no bill of exchange. Let's have a chat with Morris. So far, a man with a limp that could possibly have made that footprint, who's been wandering around the garden at midnight and stealing things from the cellar, isn't looking so good.
Yes, sir.
Morris, I know you've been stealing wine from our cellars.
Me, sir? Who told you that?
No one told me. I'd read it in a letter that Henry wrote to Victoria. So what do you say about that?
Well, I only took a few bottles, sir. I swear. There's such a lot of them in there, I thought nobody would notice. It won't happen again, I promise. Will you give me that letter, sir?
All right, Morris, but I'm going to be watching you. Here it is. I will go then.
All right, sir.
To this day, I still don't understand why Samuel just gives evidence of blackmail over to the wine thief. He just gives it to him, like, okay, whatever then. Great. Well, what are we doing now? I think we're good to head down to Herman's house now. Also, the vicarage. The priest might be back. Let's head to Herman's house. There he is, dumping something in the trash.
Oh, Mr. Gordon. I would wish you a nice day, but that is not what it is today. To what do I owe you a visit?
Well, you told me yesterday to come over.
Let us not discuss things outside in the rain. Please follow me. Better, is it not? Do you mind going down to the morgue with me? I have a lot of work to do. We can speak there.
Not a problem. Let's go.
Watch out for the steps. There's not much light in here, and the dampness can make your footing dangerous. So, what would you like to know?
My first thought coming down here is, this is a morgue, a respected doctor. Is it normal just to have old blood just splattered all over the ground? Like, what the hell, man? Like, I work in blood in real life. Like, this would make me vomit if I saw this.
I have returned as per our conversation yesterday. This won't take long. I would only like to ask a couple of questions.
Let me guess. This is about William, right?
Yes. You mentioned some bad burns on his body.
On the chest area, to be more specific. Yes.
So?
So, what?
When we talked yesterday, you said you would tell me more about it. That is why I am here.
Is that what I said? Well, I can only repeat what I have already told you. Massive burns on the chest caused by an unknown object.
Is that all? An unknown object? What you're saying is different from what you already told me.
I cannot remember. Those were just initial theories, anyway. I have recorded everything in the post-mortem account. Shall I quote from it?
That won't be necessary. It seems Dr. Herman has lost his memory since yesterday. Why is he concealing what he originally wanted to tell me after we had first met? That death report would interest me, but not in his presence.
Yeah, it almost seems like A, he's lying, but isn't again everyone suspicious in this game? Or someone got to him, and he's changing his story for his protection.
I spoke with Detective Collier about Henry's death.
It was inevitable that he would end this way. He was a lost cause.
What do you mean?
Well, it certainly was not the first time something happened to that man after he drank himself into a stupor. I know this well because it was I who had to restore him to normalcy after the other bouts. It was not usually serious. However, on this occasion, he overestimated his capacity for drink for the last time.
This is rather awkward, but you see, Henry had something important that belongs to me. I have looked just about everywhere and have not found it. So it occurred to me that he might have had it with him, and that you...
So, what is this it supposed to be?
Actually, it's just a small piece of paper, but it's very important. Otherwise, I would not ask you.
You want me to search his personal belongings?
I would be grateful if you would do that, Doctor.
Gordon, that parcel is part of the evidence. I cannot just remove something and give it to you until the police have completed their investigations.
But that something was mine.
No matter. Until the case is officially closed, I cannot even show you any of those things.
I understand. Thank you, Doctor. At least I know where that blasted bill of exchange is. Dr. Herman, I'd like to ask you about something in connection with Henry's death.
Mr. Gordon, it was my impression that this affair is currently being investigated by Detective Collier. Is that so?
This affair, as you call it, happened in my garden. I have every right to be interested in it.
All right. What do you want to know?
I found a footprint right next to the fountain. It was quite deep and very recent.
Yes, we noticed it. Collier made a record of it in his papers. I do not know what else I can tell you.
Did you notice something odd about it?
What do you mean?
The person who left that footprint either limped or had been carrying something quite heavy.
You have an eye for detail, Gordon. That is exactly what Collier said.
So?
The trouble is, there are footprints all over the place, and they most probably all belong to your groom. What is his name again?
Morris?
Yes. You can exclude that one, though, if you thought of him as a potential murderer. Let me tell you why.
I'm listening.
I should not be telling you this, but it is your business in a way, too, so... I have been doing autopsies for over 15 years, and I have never seen anything like this before. Something seemed odd to me the very moment we dragged him out of the pond. His skin was entirely white. You see, I know what the body of a drowned man looks like even after a month, but this was different. He looked as if he did not have a single drop of blood left in his body.
Maybe it was in the water.
Impossible, Gordon. I told you I know what a drowned man looks like. I have not mentioned this to Collier, however. He would think I am going mad. I need to prove my theory first.
So what have you found out?
Exactly what I expected. No blood. Not a single drop of it anywhere. As though something squeezed the life out of him, like the juice from an orange, and disposed of its skin in that fountain. This is not like anything I have ever witnessed.
I'm not a doctor, but I can see it's more than strange.
This is not strange, Gordon. It is flat out impossible. Even if someone deliberately wanted to extract all of his blood, there would still be some remaining in the organs and muscles.
So what's your opinion now?
I have no theories yet as to what my conclusions should be. I have no sensible explanation for what I found, but so far, nothing is indicative of a violent death.
Thanks for telling me this, Dr. Herman.
Listen, no one except the two of us is aware of this fact, and I would prefer it to remain that way, for now. When you speak to Collier, do not tell him anything. I will tell him myself when the timing is appropriate.
Understood. I'll say nothing. You can take my word for it. Now that is truly weird.
Well, it does possibly rule out Morris. He says that he didn't die violently, but that it's pretty much impossible for every drop of blood to be gone from his body. I don't think Morris, the ex-prisoner and thief, would have any ability to do that. So, if we take Morris out of the equation, then we are back to nothing.
Doctor, do you think you could go outside for a moment so I could have a look around? I could forget my wallet on the table when you return.
Excuse me? If I had not known your family for so long, I would be offended. Look, I can see where you're coming from. I already told you the parcel has to stay sealed until the investigation is over. So forget it.
Damn. Well, let's have a look at this garbage container.
The lid is held shut by a large padlock. I won't get the padlock off without a key.
Well, what about the dustbin?
A lot of torn papers are on the top. Somebody must have disposed of them only a little while ago. They're not wet. I'll have a look at them. rotten garbage. I'm not going to dig in it.
Well, now we have a torn up note.
It was torn to pieces. Obviously, they didn't want anyone to read it.
And here's our next put things together puzzle. Alright, I guess the first thing we should do is flip everything up until it's the right direction. D probably for deer. Look at that there. That looks good. That looks good. No. Okay. Nope. That looks like it goes there. Who knows where that goes? That looks like it's the end of the note. No idea where that goes yet. I'll put that there. No writing on it. Okay, well, what goes over here? That goes there. Nope. Alright. I'm guessing this goes here in the corner. That was pretty easy. Except we're missing a piece.
Dear H, my next delivery will reach you soon.
Delivery will reach you soon. You need not worry. Everything has gone smoothly. No one knows anything, and that is how it is going to stay. Do not forget that what I am doing here is for the good of science, and without your help, I would be unable to continue my research. I will send you my results, as usual, within the next month.
H, Herman is likely the addressee, but who's hiding behind the R? What kind of delivery are they talking about in that letter?
So we have a letter to Dr. Herman. This is the other side of the conversation. The note outside Robert's door was written from Hines, so this is written from Robert. So they're working together on something. The parcel, my next delivery. No one knows what it's about, and that's how it's going to stay. Everything I'm doing is for the good of science, and without your help, I'll be unable to continue my research. So Robert is doing something secret, possibly somewhat shady. Hines is in on it, and they're trying to keep it all a secret. Any hotspots out here? Don't see any. I think we actually need to go back in the morgue. I think we can look around when we go back to talk to him. Let's ring the doorbell.
Yes?
Samuel Gordon, please let me in, Doctor. I need to speak to you.
Yes, come in. I am downstairs, in the morgue.
Alright, now we can look around here. A skeleton.
A model of a human skeleton watching over the hall, like a quiet guard in the darkness.
Go downstairs to morgue. Picture of a man.
I don't know who this is. Maybe the former owner of the house. I'm feeling odd. Hopefully my headache won't return tonight and I'll have a good night's sleep. Herman's private rooms are probably up there. I'm not going there.
Fine. Butterfly collection.
A collection of night butterflies. I'd never say there are so many species of them.
Vent.
Air in here is tainted with a strange smell. The tiny vent can hardly keep the air fresh.
Yeah, that's because you're near a morgue. I'm sure there's lots of chemicals floating in the air. Looks like that's it. Alright, down to the morgue.
He has a lot of work to do, and I have no idea what we could speak about.
Well, then why did you let me in here? Fine, let's look around. Keys.
I cannot take the keys while Herman is watching me.
So we need that bit of dialogue. That means that we're obviously going to have to create a distraction in order to look through Henry's belongings.
I cannot take...
So, basins.
The bottom is stained, probably by dried blood. There is nothing in them. Human muscles and certain organs. Legend is composed of a great number of Latin phrases. There's no point in studying them.
Right. Canisters.
Empty photographic developer canisters. Herman apparently takes the photos for death reports himself.
Trolley.
Herman uses it to carry the bodies. There are some things contaminated with blood. I'm not going to mess with it.
That's right. We also have these two symbols we need to get developed. We could develop them here. It looks like he has photo developer. And we have to talk to the priest at the vicarage, too. I'm just
I
thinking...
don't know what's in them, and I don't want to.
I'm just thinking about stuff that we have to take care of in this chapter. That's probably Henry's body, but we can't look at it. And nothing else we can click on.
Dr. Herman, I would like to speak to you.
Just a moment.
Now? Now you have something to talk about?
So, what brings you here?
I've noticed the place can also serve as a dark room.
Yes, I'm developing the autopsy photographs here. No one provides such services in the village. It is almost like the Middle Ages around here. Nevertheless, one eventually gets used to it. Are you asking because you'd like to have some photographs developed? You see, Gordon, this is not a copier for tourists. You are standing in a morgue.
Oh yes, that's quite apparent.
Quite.
I only need very few pictures, though.
All right then. But I will only do this because of my friendship for your family. Give it to me.
Thank you, Doctor.
Hold on. I would like something in return. I cannot get you the picture without it anyway. I have run out of toner. Would you bring me some from the village?
Didn't you just say that no one could provide that kind of service in the village?
Yes, and they do not. I have an agreement with old Murray. He orders me supplies from town. Tell him the toner is for me. He will gladly sell it to you.
Right. I'll be back.
Cool. Well, that's all we can do here. And that gives us our next stop. Let us head to the village. And as always, every time we have a new chapter, Let's talk around to people, see if we can get some new clues.
Excuse me, may I speak with you?
Sure you can, young man.
How long are you going to stay here today?
As long as it takes. The whole day. Unless it stops raining. What a better way to spend a rainy day.
Good luck then. I must go now.
Alright, nothing from him, really. What's up, Vic?
37. Hello, Mr. Samuel. What a great big bang that was, eh? The second greatest today, I'll bet.
Hi, Vic. Are you counting the thunder?
Right.
Why are you sitting here like this in the rain? Wouldn't you rather be at home?
I don't mind the rain. And also, I can't go home.
You can't? You're in trouble, aren't you?
Well, it's that broken window from yesterday. Harry told my dad, you know. So I'm not exactly hurrying home.
Oh, I see. I have to go now. Be careful of the windows next to you.
I will. Throwing my ball to the other side would be a lot safer.
Okay. Wagon.
I'm surprised Harry didn't bother to cover it up.
Alright, we'll go in the pub later, because we actually do have some stuff to take care of. At a little bit later date. And the boat is still clickable for some reason.
It's slowly taking in water. Maybe the fishermen would know about it.
Okay. I highly doubt this is important, but since Samuel seems to think so...
Hello there, young man. The fish are going to crawl on my hook by themselves today. I can feel it in my bones.
That boat on the other side of the river, is it yours? A lot of water has leaked into it. It is about to sink at any moment.
Don't worry. It's older than I am. Thanks for telling me. Most people would not be so polite these days.
No problem. I must go now.
So glad I did that. Alright, it looks like that pawn shop is open. The light's on. Yeah.
The light is on. The shop must be open.
Yep. And there's Murray. Everyone thinks he's a two-timing swindler. Let's have a look around his shop here. Nothing to click on. Hanger.
I wonder if it too is for sale, or if it's part of the inventory here. Hard to say among all these things.
Pawned objects.
I can't see anything I need. I don't want to buy any of these things. It's mostly garbage.
Yo, he can probably hear you when you say shit like that. Nah, I guess that's all it. But looking at the clock here, talking to Murray's gonna take a while, so I think we're gonna go ahead and call that an episode. This man likely has the strange object that Henry pawned. We'll see if we can get it from him. We'll also see if we can get the toner for Dr. Herman. We also still need to go talk to the priest at the vicarage and see if he can tell us what William was up to. And finally, get our photos developed and try to get all of the the bill of exchange for, well, maybe Mary doesn't need it. We'll see. Either way, there's a lot on our plate. We'll start taking care of it next episode. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay safe out there. Have a good night.